Good morning, church family. Today is Thursday, February 16th, and this is the weekly update. Pastor Nate, Luke, and I have an opportunity to be in Faith Church in Lafayette this week at their counseling conference. And so I ask you to be just praying, not only that we're learning a lot, but that the things that we're learning, that we're able to put into good practice as we seek to serve the church well. Well, are you working to get the verse of the month memorized? 2 Corinthians 5:14 and 15 are verses this month. And they say this: "For the love of Christ controls us, because we have concluded this, that one has died for all, therefore all have died. And he died that those who live might no longer live for themselves, but for him who for their sake died and was raised." And it's a wonderful, wonderful verse to think about what we're hearing in the counseling conference this week. This verse targets right with it, because these verses teach us the now of the gospel, that Jesus is working to help change us so that we no longer live for ourselves, but for him. And that would direct our focus, and we would follow Jesus on the path of the righteous so that our lives get brighter and brighter as we follow him. So I want to encourage you to be working on these monthly verses to just help equip you to be better used for the kingdom of God. Well, we have several birthdays coming up this week. On the 18th, Melissa Bumgardner and Marcos Mesmer, that's Andy and Lindsay Mesmer, our missionary in Spain, their son, they have birthdays. On the 19th, Jerry Kemp and Joe Utterback have birthdays. The 20th, Josh Cochran. On the 21st, Derek Kidd and Lily Tarter. And then on the 22nd, Jonna Miller. So happy birthday to all of you. Trust you'll have a great birthday week. Well, our big prayer focus this week is to be praying for the Brown family. Natalie passed away earlier this week unexpectedly, and it's just a challenging time. And so the service for Natalie is going to be Saturday. And pray that you be just ask that you be praying for the service, praying for the family. I'm anticipating a lot of people because they're very involved in the community and throughout the state. So be praying for that service, that the hope of the gospel would be clear, that people would be comforted, and that we would honor Natalie's memory well. Well, a couple announcements. We have an open gym here at their church tonight from 6 to 8. If you want to play basketball, show up during that time and be able to play some games. Also, we have a work project that we've been doing in the basement over the last several weeks. We're putting that on hold for this week, and we'll continue next week. So if you've been a part of that or would like to show up next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, they'll continue that. Well, one of the things we've been talking about this year is inviting others to church and working to have good gospel conversations. So I want to just encourage you to consider, who have you been thinking about inviting to church? Have you invited them? Are you seeking to have gospel conversations with those around you? And just realize that God has made us to be disciple-making disciples and light-bearing light, and that we would go to our world. Well, this Sunday, we're going to be talking about a family feud. We need to ask a question as we consider this Sunday's message. The question is, what happens when we play games with truth? What happens when we scheme to get things to go our way rather than following God's plan? And the summary word is trouble is what we get. Well, Sunday morning, we're going to look at that from Genesis chapter 27 to see how God works even through our sin, our selfishness, and even the pain that comes from our selfishness, to see how God uses all of that to accomplish his good purposes. So looking forward to sharing that message on Sunday morning, and looking forward to seeing you then as well. Well, our verse of the week is Psalm 34, verse 17. And just an appropriate verse for this week. It says, "When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their trouble. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers them out of them all." And these verses just give us great hope that when we cry for help, the Lord hears, that he is a God who delivers us. He is a God who is near to the brokenhearted. He saves those who are crushed in spirit. The afflictions that we face, that there are many, that we shouldn't be surprised, but in the midst of it, to know the Lord is with us and someday will deliver us from all of them. And so those verses just give us great hope that we recognize that we are following the Lord on a brighter path, seeking to live for Him rather than for ourselves. And when we do that, we bank on these promises that He is with us, even in the midst of hurt and heartache, to help us, to encourage us, and to strengthen us through them. Well, church family, we have reason for great hope and great joy. And I pray that you're focusing on the gospel of Jesus Christ, all that He has done for us, and allowing that to shape your everyday life. May God bless you. Hope to see you on Sunday.